Many guys like to go on day game trips to Prague or to Poland, but is Budapest actually the best day game city in Europe? Let's find out. I came here a week ago to coach a student, and I've spent more than a month day gaming and coaching here a few years back, so I would say I have quite a bit of experience with day game in Budapest. We're gonna talk about 5 things. What types of girls are you gonna meet in Budapest? How receptive they are to day game? How do the students do day gaming here? How are the bars here? And how is the city in general for hanging out? So first, what types of girls are you going to see here? Well, local Hungarian girls have amazing tits and amazing asses. They're very beautiful. You're gonna see many foreign students from Germany and other countries, plenty of tourists from Western Europe and Asia, and in general, many beautiful Asian girls on the street. After the war started, many Russians and Ukrainians moved here as well, so you're gonna hear plenty of Russian spoken on the streets. I would say it's a good mix of everything, as long as you're not looking for big booty Latinas. Second, how receptive are the girls? The first time I came here and when I lived here and I coached here, it was pretty hard. I had to really work on my attraction material to get them to stop and to move from stops to actually them listening to what I have to say, to giving me topics and starting to invest, and then to start to get Facebooks from them and then numbers, and then getting those numbers to respond. I really had to polish my game a lot, and then getting them out on dates was a whole different conversation. But that was because we were day gaming on the main fashion street and around it. But this time, me and my student, we were exploring different parts of the city, and voila, the reactions were much better. So if you are going to be day gaming on the fashion street, expect harsher reactions, because there are many day gamers, there are many guys here who will come here just because there are many beautiful girls there. So you can feel they're kind of tired of it. But as soon as you go away from those overgame places, you start getting much more better reactions. The girls are much more receptive. That being said, if you want the highest quality and volume, you will have to go to the fashion street and the most touristic areas. That's where you will also find most tourists. But be ready to bring your A game. But if you want to chill a little bit more, simply explore other parts of the city center. And the one tip I can give you is look at other metro stops and just day game around those metro stops. I have to admit that girls here are much less receptive than girls in Poland or Czech Republics. Let's talk about how real day game beginners were doing while learning day game in Budapest. I prefer to judge the city not by how I'm doing in the city, but how my students are doing while learning day game here. That gives me a much better picture of day game here, how easy it is to adopt to the city, and what level of game a new day gamer has to reach to start getting numbers, dates, and lays. I coach 2 very different students here who in total together put in more or less 200 sets. The first guy already had some day game experience, and soon after starting to learn day game here, he started getting numbers, dates, and got laid with a few beautiful girls. The second student was more of a shy type and didn't do as well as the first guy. Even though he wasn't getting plenty of numbers, he did manage to get a date after his second day of coaching. Overall, I would say he didn't do that great in this city, but that being said, I think he will be doing pretty fine in an easier city like maybe Warsaw, Poland, or Prague, Czech Republics. After coaching them through these more or less 200 sets, I can tell you that you will have to put in quite a bit of volume here and have a minimum of pretty good understanding of day game basics. Number 4, how are the bars in this city? If there is one other thing apart from beautiful girls, Budapest really has its amazing bars. The city center, especially the Jewish district, is full of interesting bars, coffee shops, and restaurants. Everything from simple hipster places with outdoor seating to fancy lounges. So you should have no trouble finding a nice and cheap venue to go on a date, or simply to go for some drinks or food with your wings. Make sure you check out one of the most popular bars in Budapest, Simpla. And number 5, how is the city for hanging out in general? There's plenty of stuff to do. The architecture is beautiful, there's plenty of sightseeing to do, and even some hiking opportunities. You can take a train to go chill out, swim, or party at the Balaton Lake, or you can simply go to chill out at the Margaret Island, which is just a 20-minute walk from the Parliament building. There are good reasons why this city is so full of tourists. Nice bars and beautiful girls aren't the only reasons to visit Budapest. So, should you go on a day game trip to Budapest? I'm a big believer that your first day game trip should be to the easiest day game cities possible, simply so you would get used to adopting to new environments and new types of girls, and also to day game travel in general. But if you have been to Prague and Czech Republic and have explored some cities in Poland, I think Budapest is an amazing city to check out and test your day game skills in a little bit harder environment. If I had to pick one city in Europe to live at and day game at for 3 months and it couldn't be Riga, I would pick Budapest. If you have any more questions you want to ask about Budapest, you can ask them in our group chat where we have over 300 day gamers from all over the world. To join the group chat, simply head over to my website saintrobert.blog, join the mailing list by filling the form at the top of the page, and you will get an invitation link to join the chat in the welcome email. And if you're new to my channel and instead of just be yourself game and meditation advice, you prefer a technical step-by-step approach to day game, then subscribe, and you might also want to check out my podcast for more technical step-by-step day game advice. If you're just starting out or are still struggling with approach anxiety, check out the podcast episode called 41 Minutes of Advice on Approach Anxiety.